times you as a human being say if you don't plan, you plan to fail. But 90% of the time, like almost 99% of the time, most people have a plan. But what eventually ends up working for them wasn't the plan. It was something along the plan and they didn't foresee. Are you getting me? Somebody said, so you might, if you're a startup, you want to get money, you tell them you need help. Do you understand? So you meet a firm or something, oh, please can you guide me? How can I get my startup going? They offer you money. But if you ask for money, they offer you help. Oh, are you getting it? Are you getting it? I think about it. If you ask for money, they will give you help. But if you ask for help, they will give you money.
We are created to create things. So if you're in this world and whatever you do is destruction, maybe in the sense of trampling on other people's creativity, whatever you're doing is hurting other people, it means you're defeating purpose. Because that we are created to create things is purpose. God created us to give us dominion. Purpose. You're coming into this world to dominate, and not just to dominate, to create things, to evolve, to make things in purpose. Humans have a purpose in this world. Our divine essence, by default, what you have to do in this world, be creative, be productive.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Boys Room. And as you can see, it's just boys today.
Just boys today,
We're ready for this episode, and we have a wonderful guest with us to talk about today's topic. Dissect it, open it, then chew it raw.
Pause.
I remain Favor always, and to my right is
The one you phenom, Daniel.
I'm Emmanuel.
and today we have with us our guest,
John.
Mr. John.
Widely known in Elizabeth as John Sachs. Because
I mean, he's phenomenal with his hands. He plays the sax. Stop that. He plays the sax. He's a phenomenal editor, director, does a lot of things, wonderful. He will tell you about himself when the time comes.
the time has come. Tell us about it.
Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. You spoke about everything, yeah. So I'm John, fondly known as John Sax. I play saxophone. I'm also into video production, photography, and production of development, software development. Yeah, I'm just computer science student.
Yeah.
Graduated computer science student. So
that's like that's a lot because it takes a lot of mental strength to do all you do.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you did in phases. You don't just everything at once.
It's busy.
So you come
Which
with that
did
one.
you start with?
I think it started with music, which was me playing songs since 2014. So then graduate to video production and the whole photography fiasco. But I leaned towards videography when I got things together. But photography because I was down on tools and stuff like that. So then I finally am in my software production phase. So it's like, yeah, you get good enough at the point and then it gets boring, so you move to the next one, but you still know the other ones that you can do whenever you need to.
You find balance with all these things in your hand.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I do it like, I really don't like repetitive tasks. So like, if you call me to do something for you, if I've done that thing before, I'm least likely to say yes. Yes, I know it sounds very weird, but like, if like most times when funny enough, like if you call me for a project, and I've done the project before, I'm more likely to charge you higher than when I've not done it before.
Okay.
Because like you're now paying for the fact that I'm bored doing it. That's just it. That's my mindset. Just how I say. So, but if you sometimes people come for a project and I'm like, oh yeah, sure, let's do it. I don't even call any price because I'm like interested in doing it. So it's like it's just a curiosity thing. That's the thing. I don't like repeating the task. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then how do you get perfect at the
so that's the thing. When I say so, yes, there's that. So like when I say repeating the task, I don't mean like so you could be like an editor that just like videos every time. So if I'm videoing for like a year plus, I should have gotten good at that. So I move on to the next step, which is okay, am I going to add some spice on that, like different camera angles, learning different, how to use different gear? It's not like I'm adding new things to it that's making it less of a repetitive task. Then you move to, let's say, the editing aspect, you learn constantly, you consume content, product of what you consume, things like that. It's like back and forth. Do you understand? So that's like kind of like.
So if in the second year someone called you to do something you was doing at the beginning of the first year, you're not like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
1 million, yeah.
Yeah, because recently a friend of mine called me and she's like, oh, somebody needs someone that is into that. I'm like, okay, who is the person and what does the person want to do? Because who is the person is like, have I done anything good for this person before?
Okay.
If I haven't, I'll consider like doing it.
Okay.
But if I have, then I would feel less guilty saying no. Because it's really, but that's just how it is. It's very complex. Like it's not
Complex.
I can tell you that this is the framework. It's very, very varying. But like yeah, like it gets to the point that if I do a lot of a lot of podcasts, I'll probably get tired of doing it. So there's that too.
You've done a lot.
No, I haven't done it. I've done a few, but I'm usually behind the camera. So I don't think maybe I'm not get tired of doing that one because I just exactly. For my YouTube channel, it's time I like edit seriously, but now I just point and shoot, and I just post it. If you watch it, you watch it. Happy.
That's something.
That's
That's something. Well, we'll put his links on the video description and all that. We are grateful to have you here.
Yeah, no problem. Very happy to get it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So of course, you know the topic of the day. You know how we do our thing. We do a thing before we do the thing. Usually do the thing, before we get to that point. Or let's ask this. What's something new I have learned or found out this week? I'll start with you. Something new you learned or found out this week.
Something new.
Yeah.
Bro, I really left my room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's something new.
Okay, something you was reminded of that you probably forgot.
Oh, maybe the fact that, should I say, consistency or commitment to a particular task. That's something that I've been reminded of. It's something that I've been having an issue with for a very long time now. That is, I was setting my mind to do something and then at a point I just get tired and venture into another thing. So in that way, I don't think I'm helping myself. So for this week, doing the podcasting back and forth, I've grown to love it. I've grown to get used to it. So I believe that with discipline, commitment, and consistency, I can improve myself, and also improve myself with in cases and issues like my interpersonal relationship with older people, improve my communication skills and all that. So yeah, I would say this week has actually improved me on that aspect.
What about you, Mr. John?
Okay, so initially, I planned on, it's not a joke, but it's serious. Okay, so I have two in my mind, but there's one that is leaking in. So the very first one is the launch of the GPT-5 was a flop. I don't know what they did, but they messed it up. Yeah, so
Chat.
Yeah, GPT-5 was a flop. Like the launch, there's like the good model. I don't want to go too techy on this, but like, there's the like GPT-5, that we all expected with the whole Sam Altman hype and the Death Star thing he did, and then there was like the testing beforehand because it's crazy that it is. There are a lot of people that had access to GPT-5 before it launched. It's just how it is, and then the like testing before that time, like the model was so spectacular, and then I got my hands on it on like the day after launch, and I was like, what's going on? And I remember calling my friend and we tested it and I'm like, what's going on, guy? And then I'm like, why is nobody talking about this stuff? But because I was not really in my video phase, like I was in like, I've not recorded a YouTube video in a moment. So I didn't rant about it online, do you understand?
You usually do?
Yeah, I do. So, but eventually people started waking up and they started dropping videos about the fact that I actually flopped. and it's just very terrible and disgusting actually. So then, what do you say?
What's the main issue?
Okay, so basically, so the main issue with GPT-5 is this, they have like the whole lineup of models. Okay, you might not know, but when you use ChatGPT, there are like different AI models behind it. They are all owned by OpenAI. So you have O1, 4.0, 4.5, O3, O3 mini, O3 mini, like, so it's time like you get to upgrade to a higher, so all these models are there. But then it's like most users don't know when to use which. There's some programmers that tell you, oh, O3 is better at coding, or O4 has a better personality. Do you understand what I'm saying? This one is better at math. That's just how it is. Like, it's, at the present landscape, it's kind of hard to get one model that does everything well. Just as kind of complex. So the way they put it was like, oh, GPT-5, it has all the power of all these models, and then it intelligently chooses the right part of, because the way AI model works, like you have XYZ billion parameters, and then it activates a particular section of them when you ask a prompt. So you say, oh, what is this divided by this? It activates the expert that is called, it's called a combination of experts. That's how it is. So you have like 50 something experts in one model. So when you give a prompt, it triggers the experts that are more likely to get it up. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that was what they made it look like. It was going to be like, oh, so many billion experts, we are going to sort out our thingy. But then it turns out that it flopped. Just as, and then people are so pissed because like, now they're stuck with a model that's not doing as well as the older models in like literally everything they do normally.
And they had high expectations.
Yes, and the experience was just too high. It was just crazy. I was like, oh, what's going on? Yeah, so they started rolling back on things. But then I want to put this out because somebody will say it. I feel like, because the major issue was like the routing, the way they routed which model answers which within the whole thing. There's an open source company called Open Router. Open Router does better routing, but this is an Open Router routed to different companies. So you have like Google's models, you have OpenAI's models, you have Grok, that's X, you have Anthropic, Claude. So it just intelligently routes it. But apparently, OpenAI's $1 billion backed business could not route properly. So, but then outside of that, the actual other thing is you need to communicate to people to expand your opportunity to get lucky. Because the only reason why anybody is successful in life is because of luck. There's hard work, yes, but you getting good at a lot of things increases your opportunity to get lucky. Do you understand?
I think the Brock said something similar back in the day. He said that either you work the lucky or you get.
Yes, exactly. So the more you work, and then it's very when you get like very diverse in a bunch of things. Like for instance now, if all I knew was just like stocks, that's cool. I'll probably get good at that and that's fine. But then the fact that I have stocks and video production, it could not be that kind of thing that okay, I could produce music videos and make it be very good because I have knowledge of music. So it increases my chance of being a very good music video editor. Are you getting the dynamics? Or even
that's not luck though. That's strategy.
Yeah,
I mean intentional strategy.
Yeah. So yes, you could call it strategy, yeah. But at the same time, this is like you said, I like the word unintentional because that's the reason why it's like, most times you as a human being, say if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, or like almost 99% of the time, most people have a plan. But what eventually ends up working for them wasn't the plan. It was something along the plan and they didn't foresee. Are you getting me? So you might strategize, like learn all these skills so that you get to a point, but luck might hit you in the middle where you least expected. That might actually be what to blow you off.
What you call it luck is what some people like to call grace.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. No. That's yeah. No. It's the same thing. Like depends on what.
Yeah. Depends on what
denomination. Like what denomination you're on. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. So increase your surface area of luck by getting a bunch of. Yeah. Literally, so like for instance, now communicating with people, you never know, like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend's friend. Might be the one. Might be the one that was like, yeah, exactly. It's very crazy. because I remember I was watching the video I was watching. He was talking about the fact that one of the greatest sponsors in his career he ended up meeting. Okay, no, he ended up meeting the CEO of a particular company at his best friend's party. He has been looking up to this guy. He had no idea he was going to be there. But just because he himself invited that guy to be in that country like a couple of years ago, out of his sheer just trying to be close to this guy and be friends with him, he ended up putting that guy in the right place subconsciously. And because that guy also networked with some other people, now ended up meeting his role model. And then his birthday is so, and then so that's just it. So
It's always true when they say the greatest currency of man is connection.
Yes. So many things can go down, but word of mouth is and then one other thing, when you want to reach out to somebody, if you want to ask for a favor from somebody, there are different ways to approach it. You'll be like, oh, there's something somebody said something. If you're a startup, you want to get money, you tell them you need help. Do you understand? So you meet a firm or something, oh, please can you guide me? How can I get my startup going? They offer you money. But if you ask for money, they offer you help. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Are you thinking about it? If you ask for money, they will give you help. But if you ask for help, they will give you money.
Right, so I know what to do.
That's how it is.
So you're playing the man.
That's really
But that's how it is. That's really how it is. Obviously, they still offer you help, but they offer you help alongside because the approach feels different. You're reaching out to somebody. There's this YouTuber I used to watch. He was talking about the fact that he normally on his YouTube channel he does diagrams. That's how he does diagrams, and he's a software developer. So this guy reached out to him for a job, and he's like, "Oh, bro, I'm being job. It's just 4 messages. I've been job hunting for a while." Then he drew a diagram explaining his specialties. Instead of writing a paragraph, he just drew a diagram. I'm good here. I'm not so good here. I'm meh here. That's what he did. And just said, "Please, if you can help me out, I'm very, very grateful." And all bro did was that he took a screenshot of that chat, put it on his Twitter, and our bro is employed by Vercel. So bro increased the surface area of luck by paying attention to some details, learning how to communicate to that guy in a way that was new compared to other people just sliding in. Oh, I need help. You just what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So so, you know what I'm saying? So, there's a way you ask questions that will just make somebody be like, this person actually deserves my attention. It doesn't sound too cliche.
Please help me.
Exactly. There's a way you say it. I once asked my dad for money, I write a table, break it down precisely how it's going to be spent. Even if I inflate it, the most important thing is that it's broken down perfectly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's first of all, even as little as I'm not sure of this one yet. Then you now add something like, okay, but this first few, I'm very sure, these are the most important ones. It just makes you sound more competent. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then you get the level. So
I know what we're doing this time. What about something you learned this week?
Something new I learned this week. I think I learned it on this podcast. You know how we have feminists.
Oh yeah.
Feminists, people that
They
fight
were
for
opposite,
I never knew we had people that fight for men and they have women.
Okay.
They are called chauvinists.
I didn't know that until now.
I said manists. They said manists and it makes sense. Feminists, manists. Why do you know that they have chauvinists?
I've wanted to show me this before. But I was like, I didn't pay attention because it's also the same.
Now I appreciate you.
It's good you have people fighting for men. The second thing I learned this week was someone said it, we are created to create things. We are created to create things. So if you're in this world and whatever you do is destruction, maybe in the sense of trampling on other people's creativity, whatever you're doing is hurting other people, it means you're defeating purpose. Because that we are created to create things is purpose. God created us, He gave us a dominion, purpose. That dominion is purpose. You're coming into this world to dominate, and not just to dominate, to create things, to evolve, to make things,
Not just create, to procreate.
Produce. Make sure
Well,
whatever you do in this world, you're
well,
productive.
well.
So whatever you're doing in this world, if you're causing more in this world, that's not your purpose. Humans have a purpose in this world. Our divine essence, by default, what you're to do in this world, be creative, be productive. And we can now break that down into being creative, being productive, and gives us money. Because I will still go there. It gives us money, right?
Yeah, it does.
To fend for ourselves, for our families. Purpose.
Purpose.
Oh my God, too late.
That's right.
Wow. Is peer pressure actually pressure? John.
It's peer pressure actually. I mean, it's like I said the other time. Peer pressure is a test to see if the foundation was strong enough. But yeah, okay, emotions. I think, yeah, it's still pressure, yeah? Like, it's not pressure in the straight up, you know, I think that there are different spectrums of how peer pressure shows itself. There's like oh, guy, let's try this thing. You say no, and they're like, what's your problem? They leave you. You see them seemingly having fun, and then it's just like, it just keeps on coming and coming. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's like the much more intense version of it. And there's like there's another like, okay, you're a passive smoker because everybody around you is smoking and you just keep on inhaling. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's that. Then there's like the softer version of peer pressure, which is you're just consuming content generally that gradually overtakes your subconscious. And then you just find yourself doing certain things. There's a solution which I'll bring up at the end, but like the main, I think if there's one thing to pick up about peer pressure is peer pressure and boredom go side by side. Yeah, like peer pressure and like not having a job, like joblessness. I'm not necessarily saying you don't have a job, but like you have like there's enough time for you to spend time doing that other thing.
That thing most used to say, idle mind is the devil's work.
Exactly. So that's literally how it is, and it could also be positive in the sense that you might be jobless and then you might be pressured to do the right thing.
But you know, my question
in this situation
to this effect now for everyone is, where those the place of I don't want to put it, your own convictions and value as a person. At what point do you let go of these things to allow the influence of another person? I ask this because oftentimes, I don't know if you, obviously, you must have seen these surveys they put out there. They ask you, how often does the brand influence you to buy from them? Oftentimes I put never. Honestly, there's nothing you want to tell me. If I do not want to buy it, I will not buy it. So at what point is your conviction so weak that you cannot even say no? At what point are your values so weak? At what point is your free will so beat down that you can't even say, yes, I will do this because these people have said, or no, I do not want to do what they tell me or what I'm seeing others do.
I think so. This is how I like it. So let's break it down in the order of let's say occurrence. So there's you as a human being brought into this earth without knowing anything. The supposed values you have, I would argue they are actually not your values.
Not all of them.
No, I'm going somewhere. Like, I would say that they are like you literally by default have no values because every value you have is bestowed upon you by your environment.
Yeah.
So your parents are like your immediate value imputers, if that makes sense. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your friends around are your secondary. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's something I said at the very beginning, you're a product of what you consume.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's not a situation of, I don't want to think about it like in a binary of, oh, you let go of your values and now you're now picking this other thing that is not meant to be a value. And the word value is very, very subjective. That's why we have the sentence, and one man's food is another man's poison because it's very subjective. Do you understand? So the word value, it's like a spectrum. So in the sense that, and that's how a lot of things are in this world. So you have like, so now we can try and divide it as good and bad. Do you understand? So let's say hypothetically, as a young child, you're taught in the way of the Lord, or you have these values that are in you. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I would argue that a lot of times parents would think they have put enough of that value in the child for it to be strong enough to try them like the test of time. Do you understand what I'm saying? But in some other situations, I'll argue that parents that went through shit are better at teaching their children that value. Because in that kind of like, they know how it is to be at the other side, they know how to be on this side. So they're not going to make assumptions like, oh, my child follows me to church, or he listens in church. No. They're going to be much more deliberate in them talking to their children. Just they'll give them examples like, oh, in this situation, this is what happens when you do this. Because another thing about peer pressure is curiosity. I mentioned boredom equivalent to peer pressure. There's also another part which is curiosity. You know what I'm saying? When you know the answer to something, you're least likely to try and do it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Just before you carry on,
Yeah.
this issue of that picture, something like masturbation, most times it's curiosity.
Yes.
Most times it's curiosity.
And the truth is that like a lot of times people that often get addicted to it's not like they're actually really feeling horny or something like that. It just comes like a leisure activity. Like you do when you finish jobless. Yeah, just like bro.
I need to sleep.
Yes, exactly. Like just it's just like a hobby. And then the truth is that it just unfortunately happens that it has a lot of side effects. Consequences. Do you understand what I'm saying? But in the reality of things, most people that end up doing it and are so like stuck in it, they're not doing it because they're necessarily like it's just what I'm saying. It's not like a malicious, it's not inherently malicious by default. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just like unfortunately you consistently doing that thing has a lot of terrible downsides. Did you get the logic? So, because literally everything that everybody's good at on this earth is because you're addicted to it. You cannot be good at something without being addicted to it. That's facts. If you want to be good at something, you have to be constantly doing it.
That's why I think the fine English in this word is consistency.
Exactly.
Addicted.
Yeah, you're really addicted, yes. James, and so now back to the whole thing about the value. So, it's like, you now get to this point where let's say your parents are able to, okay, so let me like this. You have a ball. You have a ball that can be filled to 10, like let's say 10 liters. That's how filled the ball can be at the moment. So your parents push a lot of good values into that. You understand? But then one thing I forgot to mention about the ball, this ball is very, very soft and easy to expand. So you meet new sets of people. They impute things into that ball. Do you understand?
Yeah.
The ball starts to expand. If they impute enough, it would now, the major content of that ball would not be the 10 liters of what the parents left. That is why they tell you that you need to constantly know God, so that it constantly grows along the pressure of society, so that it doesn't overthrow it.
That whole daily renewal.
Are you getting the logic? That is actually it. So now when it comes back to the whole value situation, it's like you're here, and then your parents have given you this, you've experienced this, people are giving you this. So like that's like the harsh part of like the whole what's it called, peer pressure. That's people constantly telling you. It's like, okay, so they're constantly telling you, you're witnessing it, it looks like they're having fun. Then curiosity kicks in. Let me just try this once. And curiosity and ignorance, they're enemies kind of, because like you're very curious, you might know the downsides, but then you think that, okay, well, I know the downsides, I'm just going to try this one time, probably not that, but I'm strong enough. Yeah, you're strong enough. And the truth is that you might be strong enough, and it might not have the same impact on you as somebody that ends up dying from it at the moment. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you can be addicted, because I've not killed you yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, even an engineer that's addicted to his work, he's addicted to that work because something has not killed him yet. Do you get the logic? So, yeah, are you trying to see how all these things, it's not just like a one size fits all. That's what I'm really trying to bring out in all these things. I think it's very, very complex to bring somebody out of any form of addiction. It's really hard to bring somebody out of any form of peer pressure. But the best thing you can do is subconsciously. I think the easiest way to impact somebody's life is subconsciously.
It can never be direct, honestly speaking.
Direct is like, it's very easy to see BS directly. It's very, very easy. Like your BS meter is going to be up. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like for instance now, on average, there was a time when in around 2021, Netflix was bombarded. I don't watch Netflix like but like I watch movies when I can. But Netflix was bombarding a lot of like gay content.
Yeah.
I remember that time, a lot of my friends would be like, double tap, they would skip. Now, you don't have the energy to double tap.
Okay.
Like, yeah. You understand? Because you become numb to that thing.
Also the things that influence.
Do you get?
you
So therefore, it no longer triggers your values. Like it has infiltrated enough that it doesn't feel like it's threatening your fundamental value. And you get it's like a virus that is like it just slips in just enough. That's not about people. It slips in just enough. If it comes in a way that it's like your body. If malaria comes in the first time, your body feels it instantly to fight it back instantly. But if it comes in slowly, your body thinks it's in control. You think you still have your values. You think everything is, you're still in charge of everything, but you really aren't.
So basically, it's not pressure.
It's not pressure. Yeah. So I think like we should substitute that word pressure with something else. You can say influence, but influence is still having that authority. I don't know.
Maybe like something like infiltration.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not.
It's not.
You know, it's pressure. You are already.
It happens over time.
Feel it.
Because you gave room to.
Yes.
It happens over time.
Stress. According to the
Yes. Stress. Elastic limit. Yeah.
It's gradually dragging.
So once
Before-
you've broken the elastic limits, then
Exactly.
And you don't know that point you failed.
Because like for instance, if you have friends that are telling you, oh guy, maybe you should try having intercourse or some shit like that, you be like, nah, like it triggers you. But maybe when you start to maybe watch it online, you become, that time you be like this when your parents are already go like, but then you do like this, you get something like this, after some time, you start to like get numb to it.
start laughing.
Kissing will start to make sense to you. You start to laugh at nonsense. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then at the point you're just like, oh well.
It first gets to the point of, no, I'm not doing it, so it's just film,
Yeah. And then you see,
oh wow,
And then you never see your classmates the same anymore. Like, what? This guy's getting thick. Because of what you've watched. It's not exactly pressure that
it's let's not deceive ourselves and say it is pressure.
Yes.
It is infiltrating, it is gradual, it's
Yes.
stress, it is
Exactly.
It takes its time to shoot pressure.
So I don't think so. That also tells that it doesn't completely overthrow your initial core values.
Yeah.
They are still there, but they just do not own the majority of that sphere anymore.
So, for the purpose of time,
Yeah.
we're going to now go to the part where you maybe say one or two solutions you think. But before you or anybody else says the solution out of advice, because there's something you started saying, and it reminded me of this book, Atomic Habits, James Clear. I think if you know anyone,
Atomic Habits.
by James Clear, if I would have brought the book is in my room right now, especially with this issue of addiction or even anything you feel like you have been cajoled into doing over time. Because, like you said, to get a habit or to form a habit or something destructive, it is not subconscious. You see it happen. But to break out of it, it takes time. It takes time. That's why you can go on, you can preach to somebody today, they will listen. Tomorrow now you don't come. Next tomorrow you don't come. Next tomorrow you don't come. That person is also not making efforts to read the Bible or anything. Go back to what I was doing. It's like that whole story we learned growing up, when the demon left the guy's house, he left the guy's body, so it was empty, so he came back with 7 more. The problem there was the emptiness. They're not filling it up with something else. Sometimes they say to get rid of an addiction, you need to get addicted to other things. Like you said, everything we do well is an addiction.
You can't just be
So I advise, read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is something that nobody I know has ever finished the book. Why? Because from the very first pages, and I say February, October, November, 50
Get very
pages.
hyped and you start to
Exactly, you get very hyped and you feel like you know it all.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I myself, I
Just sounds like common sense. I know she's finding that thing about this.
beginning of the semester that I just finished. That's sorry, beginning of the session that I just finished. That's first semester. Last year December, basically.
Yes.
This is August. I don't think I've gotten to half the page. Meanwhile, I've gotten other books and I finished those books because I don't know what's going to happen at the end. So please take your time. If you need the audio book, get it. It's going to really help you. So now, as we conclude, I'm now going to ask. Now we identify peer pressure is not actually pressure; it is gradual. What do we believe, from our own perspectives, can be done to help us out of it, or help people out of that infiltration that has happened? How do we fix this problem? How do we fix this so-called pressure? Now somebody has been like that person now who said, okay, somebody listening now is addicted to something. Somebody listening now was cajoled into doing things he doesn't think are good things. Like you said, it's not always bad. They are cajoled to doing things they don't think are good things. So how do they get out? Do they cut off friends? Do they change environments?
They should. I mean, you should cut off the negativity from your life. You said, we are the product of what we consume. So, to overcome this issue of peer pressure or addiction, you need to, get addicted to something that is something more positive. Something, maybe you should avoid watching movies that are supporting, movies that depict these negative things like smoking, violence, and all that. I start watching.
Oh, then those are like the best of movies. Let's not lie.
Yeah,
Those movies you enjoy are the ones with SNLV and whatever they have been adding to the names now.
I mean,
someone like
it's going to be sweet, but it doesn't mean it's good. The bad things are usually sweet.
Exactly.
That's why we get
it's about you, it's about your values. You have your value to protect, right? So don't indulge in things like that. Someone is addicted to smoking starts by smoking one per day, and now is addicted to like 6 packs, 20 packs a day. Exactly. So, like I said, it starts over time. You get addicted, and over time you break free from the addiction. Time is crucial, so you heal with time. And so I just feel like people should not deceive themselves. A lot of people that are trying to go, I want to stop this thing, but I can't. A lot of people are deceiving themselves. A lot of people enjoy this, but because they don't want to be seen less, they continue to enjoy this thing. So, what you consume, what you expose yourself to really matters. So, expose yourself to more positive things.
Exposure to positivity.
Exactly.
John?
Okay. So I have. I'm going to pick up from where he left off. But if there's anything you picked up from from the first time I opened my mouth today, which is there's no one size that fits all, and everything about this life is very, very dynamic, and a combination of things is what brings victory, what helps you out, what increases your sufficient of luck, what does all these things. So let's start from the most simple. Let's start from one, which is, like I said, what you consume. But you see something about what you consume, as he has later said, most of the best things, highly subjective, are things that portray humans at their basic form, which is doing negative things.
Yeah.
That's how humans are. It's like you going back to that very, very raw state of just trying, technically as a human being, you would wish you didn't care about anything. It's actually, if you were given the opportunity to be in a room, because there's this room I saw the other time, all they do there is they give you items, TVs, brand new, everything fine, and they give you a bath and protective gear. And your job is to destroy things at liberty. You pay a lot of money for that experience because it gives you that moment of just like,
let it go out.
do you understand? Because like the truth about life is we're really all trying to fit these constraints Do you understand what I'm saying? Why do you have to make sure that you look good because you want to make sure that you talk to the right people? When the reality of things, you really are tired of spending so long having your bath, having to choose what perfume to use, having to do all these things. It's really, really daunting. Do you understand? And that's why human beings, they like the quickest way out. That's why we lean towards those vices. Are you saying something? So now, about what you consume. I would say, what you consume, try to consume, like, when someone goes to rehab, they do it bit by bit. They take the person out gradually. They don't just...
Of course.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, even when you convert somebody into Christianity, you don't just say, oh, stop smoking. God knows that the person is not going to stop smoking instantly.
Obviously.
Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why, the Bible makes it very clear. You're not saved by your works. You're saved because you believe that Jesus Christ, very, very simple task. You believe that Jesus Christ is Son of God. That's just what you need to be saved by. That's what you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, it doesn't give you the right to sin. Do you understand? But when you believe in Jesus, as part of believing in Jesus, you believe in the things he has done, which do not include smoking. So once you believe in something, it also starts infiltrating how you like to behave. So it now becomes a subconscious change because your focus is somewhere else. You're consuming something different. You're having questions and they're getting answered without you needing to try them. Curiosity has been sorted out. That's like now from the Christian point of view. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when it now comes secularly in general, how do you get out of addiction when it comes to what do you consume? You try your best. I think personally, TikTok is very, very good at leaning into what you want at the moment. You can aggressively try by searching. Do you understand? Search. Search is like the first one because TikTok has an AI algorithm that learns you. So when it looks at you, sees you're a smoker, show you smoking content, show you all the things you're addicted to, that's just out there, just keep it there, that's cool. But if you want to deliberately get out of this thing, for you to get out of, let me like this, for you to get out of your addiction, you need to set up a foundation deliberately that will allow for the growth of subconscious changes. Do you understand? So the deliberate foundation you're searching in the aspect of TikTok is is that you're searching for things that are going to edify you, that are against that thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're looking for things that will keep you busy. You're trying your best not to be bored, not to be left without a job at the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? Having your curiosity channeled to creative things. Do you understand? Building things, not destroying. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you start to do the hard labor of curating those pillars that your curiosity is going to lean towards, then social media will take over and its algorithm will shape you towards that.
That will just make it work for you.
Exactly. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I've told you the viewer, the algorithm on social media platforms are very, very good. That's just how it is. It's perfect. If you look at my YouTube now, you barely see anything about video production because I'm out of that phase. All you see is AI and software development. That's how it is. There was a phase where it was saxophone playing. I'm still subscribed to those guys, but they don't show up. You open my TikTok, you hardly see Nigerians, not because I'm racist, but just because most of the people I follow by default, or the people I look up to, the people I want to be like, are not Nigerian. I'm not saying that they're not Nigerians being like them, but like the people I first of all looked out for are not Nigerian. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I see those people. I still have my friends that I follow. My friends, I see their posts regularly. So those are Nigerians. That's what I'm saying. They repost things. I see those ones. But like original content I've shown on my feed are things that I've like looked for, I've searched for. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the thing I also learned is that sometimes I've tried to force my feed to change, and it didn't work. Because I tried to force it, but me myself, I'm not willing to change. So that brings us to our second point, which is you need to want to do that thing. You need to be intentional. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't step on, which is setting the pillars. Setting the pillars also includes trying to step away from that friend group. Stepping out of that friend group is one of the craziest things because you don't want to be seen as a bitch. You don't want to be seen as a threat to their culture. Because if you're seen as a threat,
they could have things against you. They could alter things to make things against you. You don't want to be seen as that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you really don't want to cut anybody off directly because you never know when you need them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to be creative about how you step away from that environment. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be deliberate. It's really crazy, and that's why people go for therapy. You know, you go for therapists for the third eye view, when you have somebody else that looks at it from a wider perspective. How can I? Because the truth is that most of the reasons why I'm talking because I actually talk to a lot of people. I do counseling, unpaid counseling for a lot of people. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I've seen these things happen firsthand. And sometimes I give advice, and it looks like it makes sense, but I can see why it didn't work. So I reiterate, and that's what I'm going to tell you confidently. I feel like step one is you have to be very deliberate in finding those pillars that you're going to hold on to. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like finding, it's like saying, okay, these are the things I do. This is somebody, this is somewhere, this is a thing I want to see myself doing. You note it down. Writing things down is very powerful.
Yeah.
Right? It's very, I know it sounds very cliche. I just type it on my phone. I mean, it works. But there's this, the easier it is to see something, the easier it is to impact you. The whole subconscious thing. You take the consciousness to write it down that, smoking, cancel, if as simple as that. When you write it in an encrypted way so that your friends around you don't make fun of you. You're like writing smoking cancel on your wall. That can be very, very murky. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you write it in like a meme, you write the name of maybe somebody that you know that smokes and you cancel it. You're speaking to yourself. It's much more direct. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you wake up in the morning, you look at your right, it just clicks. It's like self-hypnosis. Do you understand? So you're empowering yourself subconsciously. That's like really way. If you see everything I'm trying to say that you're trying to find a way to curate that subconscious move. Because I feel that we've already expanded on the fact that that's the way, that's the most powerful one. Because your BS meter will be up for anything that's aggressive. Do you understand? So you're trying to find a way to make that happen. And I've mentioned the fact that the algorithms on social media are very, very helpful. They help you both ways. Their job is just to make you stay on the platform. Mm-hmm. So if you can stay on the platform doing the right thing, that's perfect.
So basically, to complete what you said,
yes.
Aggressive intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
Aggressive intentionality.
Yeah.
Aggressive, intensive intentionality.
Like
Yeah.
you want to break free.
It's why they always say things like, if you want to go the spiritual route of breaking out of addiction, you won't. I would say it. You won't just fast and pray one day and to stop.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
And it might not even be fasting and praying that will save you. Because you have someone that will do fasting and praying now, that mountain will steep. So, so you get yourself busy doing something. Get a job. Like, no, quite literally, like, if you have people depending on you for something, and this is where your friends can, if you have a friend, if you have a friend that's addicted to something, I was talking to a friend about, in relationships, for instance, like, you have this person is perfect, but the only thing that this person does that you don't like is that the person bets. You tell that person to stop, the person might try to stop because they love you, but I think a better approach is to gamify things. Yes.
What you mean by
gamifying? A very good example, which was an advice I gave a friend a while ago, is okay, you tell your guy or whatever that, okay, the reason why I don't want you to smoke is because I fear that you would end up spending our funds on these addictions, betting the likes. Okay, telling you to stop is going to be too aggressive. How about we dedicate an account for your betting, and every month we put 10,000 naira inside. Okay. So you know once you finish that 10,000 naira, you're not going out. So it now makes you a much more intentional better, if that makes sense. You're not just betting on a spree.
Until you see no reason to
You get it? Because now you can see that thing. It's not just why man out, because it means for you to, what you basically do is you give person a constraint. Mm-hmm. They now become more intentional about the betting, trying to learn theory, trying to learn statistics. What are the probabilities that this club will win? They go so deep into it. So it's not just an instinct thing again. They become so deep into that stuff.
Once you see that the probabilities are against.
Exactly.
I know.
And then you know the funny thing, you've now actually given that person a new light because that person can now end up becoming an analyst. And that can give you money later. Are you getting no? Are you getting what I'm saying? So you can't just like extract the person. You see what you've done. What you've basically done is the following: you give them a constraint. You've given them an indirect way to get a new hobby
And a way out.
of learning something else that will now overshadow their interest for betting. They think they are going there to bet, but instead they end up becoming a data analyst.
I believe none of these analysts actually bet.
Yeah,
You know
because they know.
Nah, none of this. None of this.
And then you pay them to analyze.
Yeah.
And then they make money off you. Smart.
Are you getting the logic?
So yes, sir.
So I think that's how you help your friend. And that's
Wow.
Speaking of this, so I just want to say something. The question you asked, solution, right? What is the solution? Let's look at it in retrospect. Let's go back to the problem initially. I think before you can provide a solution to something, you first recognize that there is a problem. Everybody knows. You recognize that there is a problem. You recognize it. This is actually a problem. That's why whoever that wants to offer a solution to someone, wants to give a solution to someone, you don't just give it to someone. This is the solution. No. Let the person recognize or come to the realization that I have a problem before the person accepts the solution. Right? Okay, looking at, chemically, let me go to chemistry for a bit. Chemically, what's the solution? The solution, mixture of substances, right? Mixture of substances, dissolving a solute in a solvent. Now, bringing that to what we are saying here, mix with the right crowd. So your solution to peer pressure is not casting out the demon. I'm sorry to say, you're not fast the first time and it gets rid. It's not like you're casting out the demon. You can't totally and outrightly eradicate an addiction like masturbation, eradicate an addiction like pornography. You can't outrightly just boom, it's gone. Mix with the right crowd, one. Surround yourself in a good environment. What you listen to, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read. That is now mixing. You're now mixing. So now those good values are now outweighing. Right? So the mixture is now diluted. And the bad is becoming diluted and it's dissolving those bad traits.
Exactly.
I feel like pressure, the topic for today is peer pressure. Is it actually pressure? It's not actually pressure. Per se, it's not them, it's you. It's not your peers, it's not my friend. If I'm with you guys now and we are discussing about vices, social vices, like let's say theft, armed robbery, killings.
We all know it's bad.
We all know it's bad. You're not pressuring me. You're not ready to go and do this. No. It's me that is accepting it. I'm the one accepting it, and I'm the one that decided to go into it at the end of the day. So it's not you pressuring me. It's like we earlier established, it's the infiltration of these bad vices into our subconscious, and subconsciously we accept it. And sometimes people that are given to peer pressure, it's the fear of rejection. If I don't do it, I might be seen as outdated. I might be seen as less. I might be seen fear of rejection.
Valuing themselves.
Right? Fear of rejection and wants the need for acceptance. They want to be accepted by the society. So solution, mix with the right crowd. Be careful what you listen to. And as for those that are listening to everything we've said and they say, "Well, I'm trying. All these things you're doing, all these things you're saying, I should do. I've tried. It's not working. Keep trying. Try again.
The truth is,
try again.
it won't work if you stop trying. So just try.
Keep trying. If you say I try and I fail, let me tell you something. If you try, you fail 5 times. It doesn't make you a failure. You have only found 5 ways it didn't work. Keep trying. You will find the right way to work. Some people say, "But I'm old now. I'm running out of." There's no such thing as you're running out of time. You're not running out of time. You're looking at the clock. Instead of looking at the clock, do what the clock is doing. Keep going. You will find the right way to work. And at the end of the day, listen to what we've said. We've said a lot today. It will work for you. You will get out of this thing.
Exactly. Right. I think call out something, Jerry. One last thing. I think give an example of, when we're in secondary school, primary school, they tell us that, oh, bleaching is not good. Most times, people actually know the downsides of all these things. I wanted to bring that out. I forgot
No,
to
no,
say
no.
that.
We
Yeah.
definitely, I won't say definitely, but 90% we know.
Yeah, people know.
The knowledge, I always tell people, the knowledge does not equate solution.
Yes, exactly. I want to bring that out because like some people, I'm saying some people on this same, some people on the other end are actually like, oh, it's common sense. How do you do it?
Common sense does not mean
It
anything.
doesn't mean anything. Like your knowledge does not completely like yeah. It's just like for example, you see a doctor that is still a smoker. You tell a doctor that
He knows.
but he knows. He knows. Just what I'm saying. So I just want to bring that out, but it's still you need to find value. So now for those kind of situations where you know like this is not really great, especially when it comes to things like beauty, because this thing is really, really complex. It's for you to actually get out, you need like a one-on-one tailored to your stuff. So I'm going to bring up for the one about like appearance and stuff. I think you need to find value elsewhere. I don't exactly by default, for a very long time, I didn't find myself as very attractive to the male model. Do you understand what I'm saying? But then I had to find myself doing other things that would at least make people feel comfortable talking to me. Like all the skills I have, at least it will put me, if I didn't know anything and I was ugly as shit, there's no reason to talk to me. Do you understand what I'm saying? But at least I have a value that I found in myself.
Yeah.
So I don't see the reason now to want to do certain things that would allegedly make me feel more beautiful or confident. Especially when it's like irreversible. Just like when a new clothes is reversible, like you could take it, well, just what I'm saying. When a revealing clothes isn't necessarily reversible because like everybody already seen you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, you might not want to do that. Getting an unnecessary tattoo, an unnecessary piercing isn't exactly reversible. But you could do some very basic things like having your bath, using a good perfume, and so those kind of things like, and then getting something of value that you put in front of somebody for the right person to look at you and say, yes, you are the one.
I am the one, but that is where the one this has been eye-opening, intellectual, and interesting. Thank you all for contributions. Is peer pressure actually pressure? Now you guys know it is not. And you see, if you've listened and you still do not feel like you can change, you can always still find more ways to help yourself. This is our contribution to you. I think it's safe to say we love people enough to actually talk about these things for people to hear, right? So, guys, if you're feeling pressure, if you're still under some form of pressure, you've heard ways to get out. I remain your female. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Breaking.